My cousin called and said, "I need you to say you've never seen me drink." I showed the court videos of her passed out while her kids cried. But your testimony could make the difference for those kids. Stephanie arrived 10 minutes before the hearing started, flanked by Aunt Diane and Uncle Paul. She glared at me across the hallway with such hatred that I had to look away. Her lawyer was a young man who looked fresh out of law school, probably the only attorney she could afford. Judge Robert Henshaw called the courtroom to order at 9 a.m. sharp. He was an older man with white hair and a stern expression that suggested he'd seen every variation of family drama imaginable. Nathan testified first about Stephanie's drinking. He described coming home early from work one day to find her passed out on the couch while Lucas, who was 3 at the time, had climbed onto the kitchen counter trying to make himself lunch. He talked about the time Maddie had fallen down the stairs, and Stephanie had been too drunk to drive her to the hospital. Nathan had rushed home from work to take his daughter to the emergency room himself. Stephanie's lawyer tried to paint Nathan as vindictive, claiming he was exaggerating isolated incidents to win custody out of spite. But Nathan remained calm and provided dates, medical records, and witness statements from neighbors. Then it was Stephanie's turn to testify. She took the stand wearing a conservative dress and minimal makeup, clearly trying to look like a responsible mother. Her lawyer asked her about her relationship with alcohol. "I enjoy a glass of wine occasionally," Stephanie said, her voice steady. "But the idea that I'm some kind of alcoholic is absurd. Nathan is lying because he wants to hurt me." Her lawyer asked if she'd ever been intoxicated around the children. "Never," Stephanie said firmly. "I would never put my children at risk like that." The lie was so blatant that I felt my hands curl into fists. Her lawyer asked about her parenting. Stephanie painted a picture of herself as a devoted mother who read bedtime stories and volunteered at school events. She cried while describing how much she loved Lucas and Maddie. It was a convincing performance if you didn't know the truth. When Victoria stood to cross-examine Stephanie, the atmosphere in the courtroom shifted. Victoria asked Stephanie about specific dates that Nathan had documented. Christmas Eve 2 years ago, when neighbors called the police for a wellness check, Stephanie claimed she'd just been sleeping. Victoria asked about the time CPS had been called after Lucas showed up at school saying his mommy wouldn't wake up. Stephanie said Lucas had misunderstood the situation, that she'd been sick with the flu. Victoria asked if Stephanie had ever driven with the children while impaired. Stephanie hesitated for just a second too long before saying,